The new Audi Q5 improves an already competent package with sharper looks and new tech, but can it beat the Jaguar F-Pace? Verdict. The new Q5 is strong enough in lots of key areas to be an even stronger contender in the hotly contested premium SUV class. It's still not as involving as an X3 or an F-Pace, but it is an accomplished cruiser with a nicely finished cabin, and practical enough for most needs. We'll hold off on a full 5 stars until we get full specs, including the crucial CO2 figures, but this is a very complete package, if a slightly predictable one. The Audi Q5 has been one of the German brand's best-selling models since it launched back in 2008. Now it's getting an all-new generation, and Auto Express has driven a very late prototype as senior engineers gave the car the green light for production. Due on sale at the start of 2017, with deliveries due from April, the new Q5 sits on a shortened version of the MLB Evo platform that underpins the latest Q7, and gets many of the same benefits. Chief among these is a loss of around 90 kilograms compared with the car it replaces, helping engineers to deliver improved fuel efficiency and lower CO2 figures. This is all the more impressive given that the Q5 grows for its new generation. It's now 4.66 meters long, 1.89 meters wide and 1.66 meters tall, so longer and a little taller than the car it replaces. Most significantly of all, its wheelbase grows by almost 20 millimeters, to 2.82 meters. This is designed to bring real benefits in cabin space, particularly for rear seat passengers. The boot also grows, though. The rear seats can move fore and aft, and the angle of the seat backs can be changed, to prioritize load space or rear legroom, but the capacity ranges from 550 liters to 610 liters, a gain of around 10 liters over the old model. Fold the split rear seats down and this space grows to 1,550 liters. As with Mercedes GLC, a power tailgate comes as standard across the range. Audi will also offer the ability to open the boot by waving a foot below the rear bumper, albeit as an option. Inside, the fascia has the latest Audi family look. The center of the dashboard is dominated by a floating infotainment display, controlled as usual by Audi's MMI dial between the front seats. The optional top-spec system increases the screen size to 8.3 inches and incorporates a touchpad into the rotary button to allow handwriting gestures. Audi's virtual cockpit is also offered. It replaces the instrument display with a single 12.3-inch screen, and as usual, the driver can flick between a regular layout, with large dials for speed and revs, and one that shrinks those elements to prioritize the navigation map instead. 3 engines will eventually be offered on the Q5 in the UK, though only 2 will be available at launch. The mainstay of the range will be a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine producing 188 bhp and 400 Nm of torque. The other engine at launch will be a 2.0-liter TFSI turbocharged petrol, producing 248 bhp and 370 Nm but returning a surprisingly respectable CO2 emissions of 154 grams/km. Both of these motors will be offered with a 7-speed dual-clutch S-tronic transmission in the UK, and they get the latest Quattro Ultra 4-wheel drive system, which disengages the rear wheels in normal road conditions to help save fuel. Soon after launch, a 3.0-liter V6 diesel Wheeler I, offering 282 bhp and 620 Nm of torque. It's available only with a conventional 8-speed automatic gearbox, badged Titronic, and its Quattro setup is permanent 4-wheel drive, because Audi has yet to engineer the new technology for 6-cylinder engines. Audi sources are pretty open about the fact that a new SQ5 is under development. It's likely to get an even hotter version of the 6-cylinder diesel, and could feature trip chassis technology like rear-wheel steering. Under the skin, the regular Q5 gets a choice of 4 suspension setups. There are two versions of a system with conventional dampers and steel springs, regular and a more sporty configuration with stiffened springs anti-roll bars. Then you can order regular steel springs in combination with Audi's adaptive dampers, or go the whole hog, like the cars on our Mexican test, and spec the adaptive system alongside air suspension. On the road the Q5 is another predictable Audi, but that's not necessarily a bad thing in this day and age. The new 3.0-liter diesel is a strong performer. It's a teeny bit gruff if you push really hard, but settles down very quickly when you're up to speed. It's pulling around 1,750 revolutions per minute at 80 miles per hour, and you won't hear it at that speed. In fact, overall refinement is excellent. You're more likely to be bothered by road noise from the 20-inch wheels than any whoosh of air from around the door seals or the side mirrors. The petrol engine is pretty smooth through the mid-range, and only gets thirsty if you stick the gearbox into manual mode and decide to really rev it out. That said, even its impressive torque figure isn't quite enough for a car of the Q5 size, so you'll find yourself pushing the motor pretty hard, pretty often. It's a fair effort, but given this level of performance and the fact that the 4-cylinder diesel will be much better on CO2 emissions, Audi has yet to issue a figure for it, but we'd expect it to nudge 130 grams/km. The TFSI will sell in tiny numbers in the UK. The chassis compromise is best filed under safe rather than involving. We played with the air suspension settings under Audi Drive Select and the dynamic configuration feels the best of the lot. It was still comfortable, even on our test car's 20-inch alloys, and kept body roll in check more effectively than comfort.